Hey everyone, this is Blackhawk SC, and welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the Corsair Broadside, which a lot of you got for free from the Christmas 2018 event. If you didn't get it, you can buy for MCs in a few months, but I'd recommend you not do that. In fact, I suggest selling this mech for C-bills, unless you have a love of trash mechs. I'm not kidding when I say that this is one of the worst assaults I've ever piloted. It has a variety of hardpoints, which leads to a lot of build variety, but that's just a trap because you'll end up spending a lot of time, C-builds, and XP trying different builds, and they'll all fail in some way. I'm going to save you the frustration and tell you exactly why in this video. There's not enough time to go through all the builds that I tried, so I'll just hit a couple of the more notable ones. The main problem of the Broadside is its strange hardpoint placement. You see the energy hardpoints and ballistic hardpoints are spread across both the arms and torsos, leading to convergence issues. Now, I understand this is supposed to be a Franken-mech and the hardpoints aren't supposed to make a lot of sense. Well, PGI did their job for sure. If you saw the 20% Gauss cooldown quirk, the first thing a lot of people will think of is some kind of laser Gauss build. Maybe something like dual Gauss and triple large lasers. The problem here is that you have to expose the entire width and height of your torso. And if you look at the Corsair's frontal profile, it has a lot of surface area when it's fully exposed. So you end up taking a lot of return fire every time you peek. One idea I had to try to lower exposures to avoid the arm weapons. The problem then is that you're working with 3 missile hardpoints, 1 energy and 1 ballistic, and 2 of the missile hardpoints are located in components that don't have a lot of slots available. We can try to make the best of it by doing MRMs and heavy Gauss. This is a pairing that I try not to use unless there's no other choice, since the MRM and Gauss needs to be led differently when aimed at a moving target. However, they do kind of work together since the low heat Gauss balances out the higher heat MRMs, and they're both alpha focused as opposed to DPS focused weapons. This setup also allows the Broadside to hill peak a bit, since all the hardpoints used are not too low. The main problem I've had with this is that even though the alpha value looks pretty good, MRM50 still struggles to put out meaningful damage since the missiles spread everywhere, and even under the best case scenario, unless you're point blank, some missiles will miss the target completely. Furthermore, despite the reduced exposure time, you still take a return fire due to how slow it is to get back to cover, and the big right torso tends to get blown off too quickly. Another way to reduce exposure is to go asymmetrical by stacking more weapons on the right side. One way to do this is triple LPLs and an HG. This worked okay, but here's the problem. This doesn't really have a good shield side. For example, the old school Cataphract and Victor builds have arms that protected the left torso very well. Neither did they have half their firepower in the left torso. This Broadside build doesn't have a good left shield arm, and the unprotected left torso houses a weapon that can explode. I think in the end, the way to build a Broadside is to deal with the fact that you have to be exposed in order to get enough damage output. One option is building a brawler. It has the hardpoints for a decent IS brawl build like this, but the hitboxes make the Broadside a little squishy in brawls. The arms are useless as shields, and the STs are still pretty vulnerable when you're twisted to the side. If you play this build, I suggest twisting to your left and giving them the right torso to shoot at. You don't lose very much firepower if you lose that side. However, I'd much rather be running something like an Atlas, which is tankier, or a quad LBX Cyclops, which is tankier and carries more firepower. Another option is to out DPS your enemies while you're exposed. For this, we can do dual UAC-10s and some lasers. This is barely better than what the Hunchback 2C can do on the clan side, but for IS, the firepower isn't terrible. Even though this isn't something new for IS, I feel it's the best use of this mech, and I'll demo this build a little later. For skills, we make sure to get both the UAC jam duration and magazine capacity nodes from firepower, fill up most of durability, max out cool run, and get 60% radar depth. Okay, let's get into a mech. This mech is on HPG, which is pretty friendly to our DACA build. The reason is because the cooler ambient temperature gives us better heat dissipation, better DPS, and the range is usually under 400 meters. The engagement ranges are usually under 400 meters, which is what we want when we have DACA-based builds. Here we see a bunch of enemy mechs still on the right side. I don't know why they haven't started moving towards the center yet, and they're kind of camping this right side ramp. This I think that's a Black Lantern. Black Lantern goes down, he's standing still. Maybe he was disconnected. I don't know. But we got some incoming fire on the left side. Now, if you notice, one thing that I did was put my torso UAC-10 on the third weapon group, and because this is higher mounted than the arm mounted UAC-10, so I want to put that into a weapon group by itself for those kind of hill peak shots that sometimes I have to take. You see the right side is opened up right now. The right side on the Corsair is really big, the right torso. That's kind of expected, and that's okay in this build. You'd rather lose that right side than the left side. So when we're in those hill peaking scenarios, you can see that I'm pulling the trigger on the third weapon group for that higher mounted UAC-10. Also of note in this match, we have the Beef in his Fafnir 5B in my Lance. I don't know what he was really trying to achieve. I think he was piloting, I went to his stream after the match, and he was piloting dual heavy Gauss 5 Flamer Fafnir. I'm not sure what he was trying to achieve, but maybe trying to like shut down people and headshot them, something like that. Anyway, so our team tries to go up top. I'm kind of blocking this guy's way here, but we shouldn't be backing up right now anyways. Just finishing off this Atlas. Just trying to angle a shot, a UAC shot above my teammate, but I wasn't really successful in doing that. Alright, by now we have a pretty commanding lead. Just gotta make sure we keep it.
At least 2 underneath.
So you should see that under certain scenarios, this build does okay. Especially when you don't really have to hill peak that much. And you're acting more as support fire for friendlies rather than just tanking damage. I'd even call this a skirmisher, but 2 UAC-10s is a little bit more than just skirmishing in my opinion. You can see that Beef just killed a friendly. I think they worked it out. It's like some kind of agreement or something like that. The match ends, and I made it through barely alive. Anyways, guys, I told you what I think about the Broadside, and I'm interested in your opinion of it as well. Let me know your builds in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.